Welcome to the Doskocil Law Podcast.
Welcome to the Doskocil Law Podcast with attorney Christopher Doskocil, an AV Preeminent rated Missouri lawyer with more than 30 years of experience in family law, estate planning, and civil litigation. Chris believes good lawyering starts with honesty and ends with results, not promises. I'm Evan Mack, and today we're getting to know the man behind the firm. We'll learn how he got his start, what guides his work, and why so many Missourians trust him with their most personal legal matters. This is Know Your Lawyer. Meet Christopher Doskocil. Christopher, hello, sir. How are you?
Morning, Evan. Good to see you.
Good morning. Good morning. Let's start with the beginning, the very start. What first drew you into practicing law?
Well, my father started practicing law in 1959, and I grew up in a small town, and his office was only a mile or two from home, and I would stop in and see him when I was riding my bike around, or go work in the office on Saturdays and change out supplements in the law library. So I grew up in a law firm.
So awesome. It's awesome. How did practicing alongside your father early in your career shape the kind of attorney that you became?
Well, after I graduated law school, he advised me to work at a large law firm downtown and kind of earn my chops, as they say. And I did for about 3 years. And boy, I learned a lot in a very short amount of time. They just throw you in and you either swim or you sink. And then I did that for 3 years. And then I joined up with my father as always planned. And away we went. We started in 1990.
That's so
together.
Great. That's so great. After working in that larger firm, you decided to kind of build your own practice. What motivated that change? What kind of law firm did you want to create when you began?
Well, it was pretty much always the plan to work together, and it was time to. And we just started. And my dad, he had one type of practice, and I had, I did a little bit more of the intense litigation stuff. And that's what I learned to do in the beginning, and that's how I proceeded, and I'm still doing it today.
It's amazing. You set up clients always to speak directly with you. Why is that level of access so important in your practice?
Because, as I said, I grew up in a law firm with a lawyer, and you just learn by osmosis what it takes to, practicing law is one thing. All the lawyers know the law.
Yeah.
But running a law firm and understanding that we're here to serve our clients. So when the whole internet thing became a thing in 2001, I got a website, didn't even have it slightest idea what that was, and an email address. And then in 2002, I decided that my father had retired, and I decided I don't need to be in a big building with receptionists and secretaries and paralegals, and I can do this a lot better by myself. And we had cell phones. I know people, there was a time when we didn't have cell phones and the internet. And so I decided, you know what, instead of having a secretary, I'm just going to answer the phone. And I started doing that in 2002, and my colleagues thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
How do you do that? And yeah, so I wear a lot of hats because I don't have staff. But on the other hand, I'm in total control.
Yeah.
When you call me, you get me, unless I'm in court or already on the phone. And then try to make a point of returning phone calls that day or the next, depending on my schedule. And sometimes I'm returning phone calls at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. But that's when my clients have the time to talk to me, because they're at work all day. They're, out pouring concrete or putting a roof together or working at wherever they work. And so I encourage my clients to call me when they have the time, whether that's early in the morning or after hours in the evening.
Hmm.
And when they seem, it appears to me, from what my clients have told me, is that they like when I answer the phone and they talk to me immediately, and they get the they get the service they're paying for and what they
Absolutely.
want. And being involved in a law firm for as long as I have, I realized that people don't want to call their lawyer, leave a message, and wait to be called back. So yeah, a lot of times I'm multitasking or working odd hours, but it it's what people want in a lawyer.
I
They
agree.
want communication. They want answers. They always have questions. What's the next step? Where are we going? What's the strategy? I'm concerned. This happened. And, people come to me with problems, right? They're almost always, we got a problem. We want you to fix it, Chris. And so when they have questions, they want answers and they want them now. And the whole process of dealing with the lawyer and usually involves a certain amount of anxiety and stress because
Yep.
you don't know the outcome. You're always dealing with an opponent who wants a different outcome than you do. So it's a balancing act. And so I've been doing this long enough that practicing law isn't the hard part. I've got that down.
Yeah.
What takes time away from practicing law is being the person that your clients want and expect. So that's the service I provide. That's different. I'm still doing things. I've been doing it since 2002, and I'm still doing it that way. And I don't know any other lawyers that are really doing that.
Yeah, and with that being said, how do you describe your approach when someone does make that first call, especially if they're kind of unsure about what happens next?
The way it usually, typical people call me up and say, "Hey, I'd like to make an appointment." I go, "What do you want to see me about?" And they'll tell me, and I go, "Well, do you want to talk about it right now? Do you have a few minutes? Let's have a conversation and see if it's something I can help you out with." I go, "Really? Right now?" Yeah. And so you spend 5 or 10 minutes, sometimes longer, um, and you answer their questions and tell them about the process and what they can expect. And I always tell people, look, we're a team, okay? You know what your problem is. You have to give me the information that I need to get you the result you want. And I think people like that.
Hmm.
They want to be involved in the process.
Yeah. So with all your experience, all your decades in this practice, what have you learned about what people really need from their attorney? Is it empathy? Is it availability? What is it to you?
I think number one is availability. Um, because when people have a question, they want an answer
Right.
now. They have a concern, and it's immediate, almost always. Um, and they don't want to wait till a lawyer can return their call next week. That's not satisfactory. So I realized that at a long time ago, and decided that that's what I'm going to provide, and it's worked out well.
Are there any cases or moments that you were reminded by, like, why you still enjoy this work after all these years? Like, what keeps you motivated? What keeps you, happy with what you do?
Helping people solve whatever problem they have and getting a result. Unfortunately, in this business, two people are usually button heads, and they want completely opposite results. So when I get a client custody of his son that he hasn't seen in a year and a half, that's pretty rewarding.
Mhm.
Or when a large real estate deal goes bad and we're in litigation for years and we get it resolved and I saved my client $300,000, pretty rewarding. And my clients are pretty happy. And the other, since I'm so well versed in what I do, and I think my superpower is knowing where the leverage is. You have to know, you have to be able to analyze a situation and know, there's the button. You push that button and you're going to have a lot more leverage to get the result that you want. And so it doesn't always work. Unfortunately, not all of my clients are it's an adversarial situation, right?
Right.
So sometimes my client's position isn't the best position. They want things that are not going to happen in the real world. Okay. But a lot of times, I am able to get the result that they want, or at least a very good result that they're happy with. And I do it cost effectively.
That's good.
So
That's good.
I make myself available, and I'm not churning out paperwork so I can make payroll on Friday because I got 4 people running around here that need to feed their family.
Right.
I do what needs to get done to accomplish the result. I'm not working a file. I'm not churning a file. I'm not doing, yes, could I do 10 more things? And would it help me get to where my client needs to be? Probably not. So that's that. I think those are to answer your question. I'm available. And since I've been doing this so long, I'm very cost effective.
I love it. So clearly it's working because you've earned the highest peer review rating an attorney can receive. What does that recognition mean for you personally, based on, your expertise, based on your experience, based on your approach?
Well, I'm pretty proud of it because it is a peer review. Martindale Hubbell calls other lawyers in town and says, hey, you were involved in this case with Chris, and it was reported, and it's in the news. There's a newspaper article or whatever, we want to know, how did he do? So it's a process. It's nothing I can control. It's not a marketing gimmick. Unfortunately, most people don't understand what a rating really is or means, but lawyers do. And not many lawyers are rated at all. You can check that with Martindale Hubbell. So to have the rating, it's a star,
And Chris, for anyone listening who's thinking about calling your firm, what should they expect from that first conversation when they speak directly to you?
Well, I tell people, look, I'm not here to sell sunshine and rainbows. Okay. Give me the 30-second overview and let's go from there. And I'm going to tell you I'm going to analyze the basics of your situation in a fairly short period of time and let you know what you can expect. Some people don't like my bedside manner because I don't tell them what they want to hear. Some people just you just agree with me. And that's all I want. I want you to hear. I want your words to be what's in my mind. It's like, no, sorry, doesn't work like that. I'm going to tell you how the legal system works and apply it to your situation and let you know what you can expect.
Right.
Okay. And a lot of that involves not only the situation, but I need to know who the lawyer is on the other side, if there is one. I need to know what court you're in. I need to know what judge you're in front of. I need to know the people that are involved in the situation, because that all plays into the analysis. A lot of people just think, oh, it's a legal question. There's a lot more to it than that. And if you have to know the system, the ballpark, I say, that's my ballpark. That's where I practice law all the time. I know all the people there. So I know this judge, not not that I have any influence, but I know this judge. I know how he operates. I know the kind of things that this judge wants me to say and do. And
Right.
a lot of times, it's a hard lesson to learn. But when your opponent is digging a hole, you just let them. You just keep your mouth shut, and you're just winning, while they're losing. You don't have to do a darn thing, because that's what happens in an adversarial system.
Right.
Someone's going to be closer to right, and someone's going to be further away from reality.
Right.
And if you're the person who's closer to reality, you just have to do what is required and then let them dig their own hole.
Awesome.
I just had a client yesterday. I told him he did not want to sue his client, his customer who fired him, who got mad. And I go, look, this is what we need to do. I don't want to do that. I go, this is the leverage right here. We're going to file a lawsuit. And then I got a phone call from his new lawyer, or his first lawyer, actually. And I called my client up and I said, I told you, they're calling up begging me to settle this thing right now. And they haven't even answered the petition yet. He goes, oh, that's awesome. Thank you. And so he's going to get all the stuff, his work tools and material that he wasn't able to get from his customer, who decided wasn't going to follow through with the project. And it's just that ability to analyze a situation and know what needs to be done to accomplish the result. And sometimes clients are going, I don't know that that's what I want to do. I go, do you want your stuff back? Yeah, then this is what we're going to do.
Absolutely.
And like I said, that's my superpower. I know where the leverage is and how to get results.
Good stuff. Chris, sir, thank you so much for your time.
And thank you, Evan. Great talking to you. See you next time.
Good stuff. That's it for today's episode of the Doskocil Law Podcast. If you'd like to learn more about attorney Christopher Doskocil and his work at the Doskocil Law Firm, visit doskocillaw.com. You'll find practical answers and straight talk from a lawyer who's been helping Missourians for more than 30 years. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a review, and if you enjoyed today's episode, and share it with someone that might enjoy this episode as well. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a review in the comments.